Ladies and gentlemen, the Third World War will not be presented tonight as scheduled so that we may bring you the following live presentation. The Third World War will be rescheduled for a later date. But now, here's... This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation. Hey everybody, I almost said happy Friday. Happy Saturday to all of you who are here and joining me today on the 24-hour delayed version of my chat. Let's see, who do we have here so far? We've got Ewan, nice, just saw your video, awesome, God, I love those. I know they look a bit Greek, you were saying, but I think it's cool. I don't know if it's prototypical, but it looks cool. So nice new video by you. Tom Couples, hope you enjoyed your vacation or business in Florida. Nice to have you here, sir. George from White Walls, nice to have you here. Lee, greetings. Digger Evans is here. Nice to have you. Great to have you here. And I think that's it for now. I didn't know how big a crowd I'd get a day late. And, but I'd rather do a show than not do a show. I mean, I don't think anybody would fault me if I took a day off, but I enjoy doing this. It's a way of connecting with people I consider friends. And yesterday, Joyce and I, we went out of town early yesterday and came back this morning. We went to visit our friends. There was a circle of friends. There was me, Joyce, Deb and Dean and John. And Dean and John are my best friends, but Dean is the one that died last summer. And Deb is his wife. And so we went up there and, hey, Joseph, how are you? Tim JD, nice to see you here. Awesome, great. And I know Colin, I think, said he would be working. And I haven't seen David Cook in a little while. So, but we got asked to do something. I don't know if I should share this on the air or not, but why not? I can always delete it later. My friend Dean was American, but of very Scottish heritage. And about 15 years ago, maybe longer ago than that now, right after he got married, he and Deb went to the UK for a couple of weeks, took a vacation, mostly Scotland, because he's Scottish. He was very proud of his Scottish heritage. He was into Scottish games and all sorts of Scottish historical societies.
very proud of his Scottish heritage. And he went and visited all the key sites of Scottish independence against England back in the Middle Ages, the whole William Wallace, Robert the Bruce, and all that. And he visited the Battle of Bannockburn, and he visited the battlefield, and he just kind of had a spiritual moment or whatever, you know. He always called it deja vu. Like, he just sat there and said, "This feels so familiar, like I've been here before." And of course he hadn't. And he just whispered to her, and this is long before he was ever concerned about dying or anything else. He just said, "If I could have my way, I would love to have part of me buried in Scotland, the old home country." And I got asked to take part of him, because he was cremated. I got asked to take some of his ashes. They're going to see if they can get permission to do it, carrying it over. And but I got asked if, while I'm in Scotland, would I visit the battlefield of Bannockburn and sprinkle his ashes. And Bannockburn was in our plans, and I don't even know if they would grant permission, but I'm just going to have a little vial of ashes, and I'm just going to conveniently go, "Hey, everybody, look over there! Isn't that amazing?" And ashes just may magically go flying, and people are going to say, "What's that?" "Oh, I don't know. My coat must have been dusty or something." So I'm going to do it one way or another. Now you can all alert the authorities. So that was the big event yesterday. Otherwise, I think everybody in North America is experiencing a crazy weather week. We had snow on Monday, and it's 84 degrees today. Yesterday it was 53. In Toledo, it was actually 60 up where we were. It was warmer in the north than in the south. But the weather this week has just been typical crazy April weather in Toledo. Well, that's what I planned on doing, George and Digger. I planned on doing it. Well, hello, Ollie. Welcome in. So that was really the big emotional thing this week. The other thing that probably only a couple of people visiting might be interested or care about is I finally sat down earlier this week, because I've had the week off of work. I've been on spring break. I've had the week off of work, and I sat down Saturday, and I just started writing and writing and rewriting and replotting and rewrite. And I finished writing all of Matt Clarke Series 2. So now I've been recording a few episodes. I've got about 4 episodes to still record, and it's going to be 22 episodes. It may be 23, because I'm really thinking of splitting the last episode in half. There's just not a good place to split it. So I may just say screw it and throw it up. Because right now, I haven't timed it out exactly, but it's looking like it's going to be 20 to 25 minutes long, the finale. And so I'm just debating whether to split it up. But I've also, I posted the latest Matt Clarke yesterday. I just put it up. I did not premiere it. I just put it up. And was curious to see whether it would get more looks or fewer looks, more comments, less comments, if it just went up instead of being premiered right before my live stream. Because, Series 1, I just showed them during my live stream. About half an hour, 45 minutes into the live stream, I'd show the latest Matt Clarke episode last year, and then I would post the episode afterwards, and they would get a lot of views that way. People would see it in the live stream. But I've got so many cameras, and I've got so much stuff loaded in on my CPU that it can't handle all these additional videos and stuff. We learned that trying to do our Christmas special, where with all the cameras and the trains and the 4 music videos Joyce and I did for Christmas, my CPU kept crashing. And so that's one thing I'll be doing when I come back from England. I will have money, and I am going to buy the computer I've always wanted to own but could never afford to own, because I'm going to afford it. I'm going to buy a really deluxe gaming and streaming computer that can handle all the cameras and all the crap I'm throwing into it. So that was the other big thing is I finally finished writing Matt Clarke and tidying it all up. It's been a harder series to write. It's longer. Obviously, anybody who's been following it knows it's been longer. And it's been, I've had more writer's block with it where I just didn't know where I knew where I wanted to, I wrote the end scene as soon as I wrote the opening scene. I wrote the end scene. I knew how it was going to end. But I had so many plots I was trying to weave together, and I really should have just tried to separate them, but in my head they were always all part of the same plot, and I should have weeded it out better and made 2 shorter series out of it. But it is what it is. It's there, and people can like it or not like it. It's, it's my thing, and nobody has to like it. Hi, Jackie. Yeah, I caught that. Sorry about your sister. And yeah, it's, I've lost a sister. I've lost a best friend. Joyce has lost her parents. We're in the middle of losing her brother. It's not easy. It doesn't get any easier. And the big C, the showstopper is the little c. The big C, cancer, is just, it's hard to watch somebody go through. So, anyhow, be that as it may, today's theme is a little bit of everything with the trains. And basically, literally, it's a little bit of everything. I have steam, diesel, and electric. I have modern era and older era. I have passenger and freight. I have double deckers and single deckers. And Jean Ricard's not here yet, but when Jean Ricard comes in, I'm actually running one of my trains, Steuerwagen first, just for the heck of it. So, like I said, a little bit of everything. The star of the show, to me, is going to be that guy up above, the ICE 4, which is my big new love. But we'll see. So let's get some trains running, and hopefully things will run smoothly. I didn't do as much as a test with them as I normally do because I've just been busy this week. I hate how vacations are often busier than work weeks because you save everything to do. Joyce already gave me the honey to-do list. All these things I'm going to be doing once we get back from England. All these house repairs I need to do. She hit me with all that. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm running it backwards to make Jean Ricard happy. Well, hey there, Alan. Thanks for the awesome video you posted today. That was fun to watch. Always gets everything off with a giggle. Let me see. Is everything lit up? So, yeah, I am running one backwards, or as he considers it, forwards. That's the yellow guy that just went above me there. I'm running him Steuerwagen first. Control cab. In English, we call it a control cab. In German, it's a Steuerwagen, which means control car. Well, hi, Pierre. How are you? I'm doing well. How are you? No, I am going to England in June. The month of June, Joyce and I will be in the UK. I can't just say England because actually only about half our trip will be in England. Half of our trip will be in Wales and, well, 40% of our trip will be in Wales and Scotland, which are not England. They're the UK, but they're not. So we're going to England for the first time. And the United Kingdom. See, I turned around and just said England, didn't I? No, nothing to apologize for. It's all right. I've had many, many trips to Germany. This will be the first time I'm not going to Central Europe. I didn't start traveling anywhere in the world until I was 49. And, not 49, 39. 39. It's been the first time I traveled overseas. Now, I've been to Canada a few times, but never further east than Toronto. But I've been to Canada many, many times. and I've been in all kinds of places in the U.S., but the first time I went overseas was 2003. I went to Germany, starting this exchange program I ran for years. I am in Ohio. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. We're about 55 miles south of Detroit. My house is about 65 miles south of downtown Detroit. My house is about 65 miles south of the Ambassador Bridge to go into Canada. Hey, Ifo is here. There you go. That sounds like fun, Ifo. Where are you going? Aha! I knew that would happen eventually. You, naughty you. Don't know why you did that, but I can make my guesses. Sorry about that. One of my freight trains, the couplers, not the couplers, the buffers caught. They're supposed to be spaced well, but for some reason they clipped. So Chris is here. Hi there, Chris. Hey, Clyde and Rick. Clyde from Newland Railroad and Rick from Rick's R&L. Nice to have you both here. So yeah, we're running a little bit of everything. Let's see. Let me speed up that steamer, but I think he's going a little too slow. Hey, XMG, how are you? So hopefully this will not, if it keeps happening, I'm going to just separate one of those cars. Haxbergen, okay. That's why sprung buffers work, yeah? Well, that's the thing. I mean, I only see sprung buffers. Now, this is just me. I'm not saying this is how it is. Just me. I have only seen sprung buffer on UK models. Now, I have been told by American friends that you can find a couple of American companies do sprung buffers as well. And I do find it funny that the UK companies, Hornby and Bachmann, do sprung buffers because they have, you know, their standard couplers, that big sort of like D-ring thing, which makes the car so, and I don't like using the word, but so unrealistically separated that the point of a sprung buffer seems to be defeated. So anyhow, Tom, I didn't see if you answered. How was Canada? Did you, or Canada, Florida, went the opposite way. I was just typing Florida to somebody. I have seen in Germany a couple of times heritage trains. One came through Delmenhorst once. You know, it was clearly a pre-war. They had two of them came through. The first one was you had to pay like $150 minimum to ride it. $200 if you're going to do, $250 if you're going to do the lunch and the full distance back and there and back. Very expensive. And that was a pre-war passenger train, pre-World War II. And then the other one was a early West German line, and that one was came a couple hours later, and that was like $75 or $150 if you did the full trip and lunch. So if you wanted the real luxury one, which the first one was, the pre-war, it was a luxury train, you had to pay $250 for the special trip, and then $150 to ride the less luxury one. Hey, Mark, then Uncle Dad, how are you? I keep hearing the buffers scrape. The problem is I changed out two Roco couplers and put two Märklin couplers. They're both the Telex couplers, but the Roco is a little bit more extended, but it kept uncoupling. When I was test running it this morning, it kept uncoupling with the Rocos going up the incline. So I said, screw it and put a Miraklin clip on it. Now it stays together, but it's a little closer together and the buffers are rubbing. By the way, you're wearing clothes today. Good. Your wife will be pleased. I, too, am wearing clothes, so your wife should be happy about that, too. Jean Ricard, I want you to look carefully. I did something special just for you today. Literally, just for you. Although I'm going to have to fix that camera up in the corner. Look around carefully. I gotta adjust that camera. Much better. This particular camera is possessed. It's constantly turning itself and twisting. Yeah, I thought you might like that, Jean. The Metronome and the IC2 are the two that can run the ramps Steuerwagen first without issues as long as they don't go the outer lane down. The Railjet can run Steuerwagen first on any lane except lane 1 down. But the IC2 and the IC2 and the IC2 and the Metronome, they can go Steuerwagen first up or down the incline on all 3 lanes. For some reason, the Railjet does not like going down Steuerwagen first. It will go up fine, but it doesn't like going down. But the way it's parked, it always comes out that if I try to run the Railjet Steuerwagen first, it creates shorts on that spot over there, which is one of the areas I'm ripping out sometime over the summer. I'm going to be ripping out a lot of track over here and completely redoing this area. I got to get home, get the money, and do it all. Hey, Stefan, I'm doing fine. How are you? Hello. Hunched over like this, that's making me look fat. Bad camera. Adding 20 pounds. Hey, Joe Rader, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You know, there was a time when I first started doing the multiple cameras and set this view up and put the camera up high in the corner, because it used to be down low on the corner. And a couple of friends said, hey, why don't you put it up high and give a big broad view? And, you know, people see it, but they never see the full image. They see a smaller, I shouldn't say full image, they see a smaller view on the multicam. I don't go through the individual cameras as often as I should. See, it's just coming off this one curve. Now that's a radius 4 curve. Now again, the German radius 1, radius 2, radius 3, radius 4, radius 5 do not seem to line up with what I see with when American and UK guys talk about it. Well, welcome back, Digger. Got your hobby car. Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. We visited our friends, our closest surviving friends. again, my best friend, the best friend I ever had in my life, well, two of them, Dean and John, but Dean and I were always a little wilder together than John and me. But Dean died last July 4th. Knock it off. Dean died July 4th last year, and I haven't gotten over it yet. But his wife is also our dearest friend. So we still go up and, we go up and visit Deb and John. Because it was always Joyce, Deb, John, and me, and Dean. It started as John. The group started as John, Dean, and me. And then Joyce joined in the group. And then Deb joined in the group. And then Dean and Deb married. Actually, Dean and John dated first, or Deb and John dated first. And it didn't work out. And Deb started dating Dean and then married. There, so now you know all those soap opera details. But that's how great the friendship was, is that even when one was dating a girl and split, it was no problem. He had no problem with her going out because they were friends. The relationship just wasn't hot, sparkly the rest of the way. And so, but we were friends for 30 years until Dean passed away. So we went up there to hang out again because it's been a few months, and it's just hard for us during the work year to go up because they have their schedules, we have our schedules. The only time we can travel is on the weekend, and sometimes they're busy on the weekends, and it just makes it hard to do it. I kind of like the metronome coming through the big camera here. Hey, Stuart's here. Nice to have you, Stuart. It's great. And there's that IC4. And there it is going up the back. That's a nice shot. Let's see how the station view cam is looking. So there you're looking at the Dumb and Horse station. Well, I've never seen that one, Efo. Hey, Jerry the Class 812, the Caledonian, how are you? Come on, I know you're in here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, bear with me just a second. We're going to add. Where is it? Add image. And browse. Document. TV train. Toy train stuff. Come on. There it is. Okay, so this real quick for anybody interested. If not, I'm going to show it anyhow. This is the Merklin metric. This is the C-track geometry, they call it. So, a full curve, the radius is 360, the diameter is 720 millimeters, which is about 15 inches. So you can see radius 1 is 720 Radius 2 is, I'm doing diameters, is 875. And divide that by 2.5 or 25 to get inches. And then 1,030, almost 1160, and then 1,280 across when you do radius 5. Now, years ago, they talked about bringing out a radius 6, and I don't think they ever did it. So I'll just pop that image off. Yeah, yeah, Pierre, I know you've only visited a couple of times, but, and I'll plug you as well, but you're always free to drop a link to your channel. Pierre comes from my comedy world. You know, I follow model trains, but I also follow some comedy channels. And Pierre is out of, I think, Montreal, Canada, and he's not necessarily into model trains, but we hooked up over comedy. I don't know, I think he visited my page first, one of my comedy bits, so I visited his page, found what he was doing funny, and so I subscribed, and I like what he does. But Pierre and I think the common ground that I hope, I don't know, he'd have to speak for himself, but I say we're both off-the-wall comedy. We're just off different walls. We have different views, different takes of comedy. For example, he does, you know, I don't want to call it mime because people have attitudes about mime, but he does silent, like silent film comedy. He does add sound effects, but he doesn't speak. His characters don't speak. He does sound effects and silly sound effects with it, but it's all visual. You have to catch the visual. And I'm the opposite. My comedy is very oral comedy. It's very vocal. My Matt Clarke stuff is very two-dimensional, non-moving figures. One-dimensional, if you really want to get there. You just see a face, and it's all audio. That's why sometimes it takes longer to set up a joke. You could do a visual joke in 5 seconds. To do an audio joke, you got to set it up. But a video joke, you may have to set up too. Yeah, you're getting topical there with that Johnny Depp stuff. I have some sympathy for Johnny Depp. I don't like to get involved in all those Hollywood scandal bits, but he was heavily set up by his psycho wife, but then again, he shouldn't have married her. But that's... I don't care about what goes on with celebrities. You know, they're a different breed of human. Well, you've been doing, which I like, because get to know you, where you're doing those sort of behind the scenes bit where you're talking. Yeah, I mean, that is their projected, but really, you know, it's like I've tightened the spacing up. I don't follow what is prototypical spacing. Now, I've got plenty of American followers and channels I watch that know exactly how far, and even with C-Track, that's just the geometry of how far apart there are. But if I want to take a radius 5 and have it like, you know, you take the radius 6, or I'm sorry, the radius 5, and I want to run a radius 4 next to it, I just got to stick a 64 in the middle of the one and a 91 in the middle of the other, and then they all line up again. And they're much tighter. So there are ways to work their geometry, but that's just their standard curve radius. But, you know, like when I watch American channels, and please, if there's an American watching, correct me. It seems like it's 3-inch increments, like I've heard 15-inch, 18-inch, 21, 24. Is that true? I mean, is like our American radius done on increments of 3? Hey, Simon's here. Hi there. I'm sure it's been a long day. It's been a long day for me because I'm 24 hours late. I mean, that business is crazy, but you know, it's been going on for years, and you know, and again, what you see in the news is this. Here's what's going on. Here's what you see in the news. The news will report what's going to put people in front of the TV. They're not going to report everything. They're going to say, this will draw the viewers. You know, and don't blame the media, blame us. You know, people like the darn media, the darn media. Blame us. We buy it. We watch it. If we all stopped watching it, they would change. You know, I'd rather we were watching science documentaries and travel documentaries that weren't about how much money to spend when you go to a country, but here's a beautiful country, here's a beautiful town, wouldn't you like to visit it? But the media caters to us. You know, if somebody says, woman donates 3 scholarships to 3 underprivileged kids to get them through Harvard, or shooting and terrorist threat at a local church, which one are you going to turn in and watch? Which one are you going to tune in and watch? It's you, not the media. The media goes for the dollar, wherever they think the most money is going to come in. That's why I laugh when people make the media political. Most media is not political. There are very specific political media bits, but most of the media is not right or left. Most media is centrist capitalist. They go for the money. Whatever's going to sell the advertising dollar and whatever's going to draw the most viewers, that's what they will go for. And that's my lesson on the media. Well, that's another thing. I mean, there is a word that's come into use the last few years that I hate. Apparently, I've got another rant in me. This word influencer. I'm a social media influencer. How the heck does that fit on a resume? What do you do for a living? I'm a social media influencer. And if you give me free stuff, I'll tell people to come get your product. Yeah, Evo, I have seen Eisenbahn Romantik when I'm in Germany. I don't follow it on YouTube here, but I do watch it when I catch episodes of it, because it starts on SW. It's based on SWR, but all the various regional channels play it, because I'll watch it on Bremen. I'll watch it on Bremen TV, NWR. Don't go there, Jean Ricard. You know how I feel about that. Yeah, but it's a big thing, and you've got everybody is on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and trying to get as many people as they can. I mean, that is the problem I'm having in my job, is anytime something is happening, every kid takes it, gets it on their cell phone. If we have a couple of kids get into a fight, instead of anybody breaking the fight up, 50 kids will come running up with their cameras to film it so they can post it on TikTok and everything else, and see how many views they get and build up their audience. Well, hi, Andy. How are you? I went on Facebook years ago as a way to keep up with former students And also, I used Facebook to communicate. We had my German exchange program had a Facebook page that I could communicate with my parents. I had mass emails and then Facebook posts, and the parents and the kids could come in. And then I never friended active students on Facebook or any social media. I won't do it. I discourage them from coming on to my YouTube channel, but a couple have. And I tell them, and I tell their parents, I said, hey, this is age restricted. If your kid's able to watch some of my videos, they've got a fake ID. Yeah, that's the thing. We had 3 different fights in my school back in the fall of this school year, but the fall. And it made the media as riots because people were reporting it's riots. Like, kids are all... No, it was one fight. All 3 fights were 2 girls. All 3 fights were these girls because there's a couple of gangs of girls that don't like each other. They're fighting over boyfriends. And anybody who's ever broken up fights, girl fights are harder to break up and nastier to break up than guy fights. 2 guys going at each other. The guys may be bigger and stronger, but guys will fight a certain way. Girls fight with everything. Fingernails, get a hold of the hair, punch, kick, bite, everything. Girl fights, and this comes from when I was trained to work in the prison system. They talked about if you get stationed at a female prison, breaking up fights is, you got to be trained how to break up fights. And so, but we had the thing is, it wasn't a riot, was one of them broke out outside the cafeteria. One girl went to a bathroom, the other girl saw her, you stole my boyfriend, and they went at it. And as soon as it broke out, the whole cafeteria, bam, 50, 60, 70 kids with their phones went charging out the cafeteria doors, filming it. I mean, you could just see them running with their cameras. Oh man, I gotta get this. It's like, oh my God. Am I a model train influencer? You'd have to tell me, have I influenced anybody into anything? Is there one? Well, actually, I will lie. There is a person. And if you want to see Merklin, and if you want to see everything you want to see on my channel with Merklin Trains and Track, but done the way model train channels should be done, there is a gentleman called Tommy Canada. Now, he used to do his shows in English, but he found a big audience in Germany, and he's German, who lives in Canada. He was born in Germany, moved to Canada as a kid because his dad did international business, lived in Canada for a few years, went back to Germany for a few years, and then once he got into the business world, eventually was able to move back to Canada because he fell in love with Toronto. Okay, that's too much information, I guess. Guy's got a house that you could fit my house in 4 times. He's got a yard you could fit my house in 4 times. But he came onto my channel 3 years ago when I was doing the Merklin Outsider shows, and he just, he commented like, oh my God, I used to love Merklin trains. I had Merklin trains as a kid in Germany, and my dad would still have them when I lived in Canada. And watching my show, and I could go find the quote on one of my videos where he said, I really want to get back into trains. So I did influence him. And now he has 6,000 subscribers, and I still have 1,000 subscribers. That tells you he knows what to do. That's right. We don't talk politics, Jean Ricard. We don't. There's a lot of people that if we started talking politics, I would lose them as friends. And I like to believe that even as divisive as politics are in America, that we could somehow get past this eventually and realize we're still Americans and we can still have much more we love and share than, but right now it's too divisive, and I'm very divisive because Joyce and I are very politically active people. very politically active. So we know, and we've lost acquaintances and colleagues because of politics. Because there are some people we have just, people say you should never let politics come between friends. But there are people that have certain political views we can't be friends with. For example, if you support Nazism and think Hitler was a good guy, I'm not going to be your friend. I'm going to dislike you. I've influenced you to go and buy maple syrup. Uh-oh. Hey, I like my pancakes, but I don't think I've ever done a big pancake episode here. But yeah, Tommy Canada, let me find a link to his channel, although Jean Ricard might find it faster than me. Tommy Canada's Mobatzima. Here we go. Wow. I haven't visited his full page. I just watch his videos. He's really done up his full page. That's a Class 114 hauling a bunch of Regio bonds. None of you have any idea what I'm talking about, but that's no problem. So here, let me post this page up there. Oh, son of a gun, why are you being a... Oh my goodness, YouTube, you can be really annoying. There we go, that's Tommy Canada's, but, yeah, I influenced him to get back into American trains. I influenced him, and he does it right. So you could go see his channel, and that's why he's got 6,000 subscribers, and I crawled above, I'm over, I think I'm at 1,100 now. Hey, did I see John A. Dawson is here, speaking of Toronto and Canada and the Niagara Falls area. Nice to see you. I have not influenced anybody. Or if I have, I would not, I certainly wouldn't claim I've influenced anybody. If I can make somebody smile or laugh, that's what I'm after. Now, if you look at my trades and say cool trains, great. But there are people who look at my trains. Like I posted a video of my ICE4 running. Just 20 seconds of my ICE4 as a 9-car consists. Beautiful train. That got 60-some likes, thumbs ups. But it got 10 thumbs downs. Like 10 people were like, I hate that. Boom. And it's like, okay. We used to have a place here in Toledo, Uncle Sam's Pancake House. Oh my God, they had great pancakes back then. Great pancakes. Yes, you shot past me, Simon, so you're more of an influencer than I am. But I suppose if I did rail fanning and actually showed videos of me building stuff on my layout, I would have more subscribers. But even if I build something on my layout, you'll see me go, look, it's done. You won't see me building it. And I just, I hope people like the Matt Clarke or the parody songs Joyce and I do. Well, hello, Layton Junction. Welcome in. Although I swear you have been here before and have been knighted, I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. Let's see. Let's get some of the views going. See, if I have any goal, I would like to be known as the funniest model train channel. I'll even take the funniest United States model train, because I don't know if I could catch up with Alan and everybody. Sean Ricard, you're never happy. And I'll tell you right now, you Danish donut. I like alliterative insults, if you haven't figured that out with Matt Clarke. You deer dropping. I have been in Germany many, many times, and I have seen freight trains going through quite fast. So don't give me that they're going too fast business. Don't give that to me. You're just seeing them fast because they're on small loops, so they circle around more quickly. So that gives the fake illusion. It gives the illusion of speed. See, I do something nice for you. I run something Steuerwagen first just for you. And what do? Your freight trains are too fast. If I could reach through the screen, I'd smack that big Danish noggin of yours. Hey, Dan, welcome in. No, the problem is the passenger trains are going too slow. That's the real problem, the passenger train. But actually, it really didn't overtake it. The metronome was... the metronome slows down on the... slows down on the incline. All right, Mark, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate having you here. Good night. Take care. We'll see you for the second half of your line stream next Thursday. Oh, nobody on this side. Oh, there goes the ICE-4. You know, there are more colorful liveries, but there is just something about the ICE livery. I love it. The Railjet and the ICE-4, the two extremes of my love of train liveries. Yes, it is handling it well. I'm very pleased. I don't usually run the metronome on the full loops because technically it doesn't go to Delmenhorst. But then again, the Railjet doesn't go to Delmenhorst either, and I run that out there. But the Railjet is such a long train, it would look silly running it on the short loops. So I put the Railjet on the long, although the Railjet's not running today. But yeah, that was the theme today. If you didn't hear me announce it earlier, the theme today was a little bit of everything. We got diesel, steam, and electric. We got freight and passenger. We've got long trains and short trains. We've got Steuerwagen first, locomotive first. I don't know if everyone influences everyone. Obviously, as a teacher, I've had an influence on many, many students. I've also failed to influence many, many students. In my career, there are students that will say I saved their life, that I was a teacher that showed care and interest for them when they were going through a really tough time and considering suicide or whatever else, and I turned them around. There are other kids that I couldn't reach. There are some kids maybe I didn't see needed reaching out to because we're not perfect. But I take whatever victory somebody gives me credit for. But I have influenced my children, and yet my children definitely do things differently than I would do them. And I don't tell them they're doing it wrong. They do things differently. They grew up in a different time, in a different world. They have different priorities and different things that matter to them. And that's what being a parent is. Raising your kids to survive in the world and adapt to it. The thing I'm proudest with my kids is they don't have a hateful bone in their bodies. They believe in everybody's rights. They believe in everybody's freedoms. They're very passionate about people and humans. I'm trying heavily to influence my grandson. But let's not use the word influence. Let's use something a little more realistic. I'm brainwashing Kyan. Anybody who's watched Kyan or catches the post on the internet, this came out. My daughter went to Philadelphia over Easter to visit her husband's side of the family because they live in the Philadelphia area. And one of his aunts, my son-in-law, his mom passed away of cancer years ago. And he's got an aunt, a sister of his mom, who now has cancer and not necessarily doing well. So they went out to visit. So I didn't have Kyan for the holidays. But after 4 days of being away from home, my daughter sent us a picture going, Kyan has had enough. Kyan is done. He was and so she sent this little video. And she just posted how they just could not get Kyan to chill. And then she came up with the idea and she popped a video of one of Grandpa's live feeds, one of Grandpa's shows on, and Kyan just grabbed the tablet and sat down quietly and chilled out. It was so funny. It was so funny. But apparently, I mean, I'm definitely brainwashing my grandson. Yes, very similar. Although I would go the other way. The LNER, the Class 800s, and the Azumas are modeled on the ICEs. You're a mogul. Now, Lewis, and welcome in, Lewis. Sorry I didn't catch you coming in. Hey, Lewis, what specifically defines a mogul? I know I could Google it, but I'd rather let somebody tell me. I'd rather hear it from somebody who's passionate about it. Is it a specific wheel set? Is it a specific way the tender and the boiler and everything is constructed? What makes a mogul a mogul? Remember, I know nothing about trains. I only know German modern trains. I can explain the numbering system on German trains to you. But I did not grow up with trains, and my passion of trains is to look at trains and go, ooh, cool. And so I hear guys at times talk about moguls. I can now recognize a Class 47, a Class 37. I know the UK Class 800s. And I know the wheel sets. I understand wheel sets, the 040s and the 264s and 462s, and I understand all that. Hey, Kiwi Dave, how are you? So the down under world is starting to wake up. Oh, Kiwi, not Kiwi, I'm sorry, XMG. There is nothing worth working on if it doesn't involve a few choice words to peel the paint. There is not a project in the world that I've worked on that hasn't involved a few choice words. I make sailors blush. Hey, Gus, how are you? Welcome in. 1 4Runner and 3 driving axles. Gus has got his Lionel channel where he gives you 2 for the price of 1. He runs his Lionel trains and gives you poetry, sometimes cryptic poetry. There are sometimes I'm reading Gus's poetry and going, is there a hidden message here? What are you trying to say here? As a published poet, I read poetry looking for what's the message here. You get to find out about the Coco, the Bobo, and the Kobo. Yes, I've actually heard those and starting to get those. I'm trying to learn. I know my modern German locomotives, but, if you put steamers in front of me and say, what class is that, what class is that, I have no idea. I can look at a locomotive and say, okay, that's a class 146, that's a class 146-2, that's a class 146-5, that's a class 146-7, that's a class 147, that's a class 151. There are some classes I can't distinguish. Hey, Philip Page is here, I think. Hey, there he is. Hey, Philip, nice to have you. The theme, again, was a little bit of everything. I mean, personally, all my trains are cool looking, so every week is a cool looking train week. I don't buy a train if it's ugly. But, you can see 2 freight trains running today. Here, let's go to the 11-lane view for a bit. Perfect timing, right as nobody's there. But I'm running a little bit of everything. We got steam, electric, and diesel. Here comes a freight train for you. In fact, here comes both. So there's one freighter, and here comes the other freighter. We're running a class 181-2 coming at you. And going the other way was a class 187. Now, with UK, I know what an A4 is. I know what an A4 is, which is my favorite steam locomotive in the UK. I do know A4s. And I do recognize wheel sets. But like last year when I wrote, when I created the Matt Clarke series last year, and we had the Black Mamba, and I used the term Black 5. I knew a Black 5 was a steam locomotive, but I didn't know what made something a Black 5. But my online friend Kieran would talk about Black 5s all the time, along with his J94s. And I just thought the train was going to be called the Black Mamba anyhow. And with the train being called the Black Mamba, I just made the joke that it was a Black 10, twice as big and powerful as a Black 5. Ba-dum-bum, and let your minds make it filthy and dirty. Hey, hello, Ethan Armitage. Nice to have you again. Hope you enjoy the trains running today. Wrong way. Dude, wrong way. Wrong way. What the hell? Sorry, guys. I just keep hitting the wrong button for some reason. There we go. There's that metronome. I like the coloring of the metronome. Yeah, I know what a Coco and a Bobo are because I've watched enough YouTube to see them now. It took me forever to figure out a Class 47, and then there's warships and Class 50s, and for a while it took me time to distinguish Class 47, 50, and warships from the UK world. I will not, and I know I've got friends that love the warships. They look powerful and massive. I don't think they're a gorgeous loco. They're just an impressive. Does that make sense to you? I don't look at them like I look at a lot of steam locomotives, and you guys know I'm not into steam, but I look at them and I just admire the engineering. When I look at the Mallard or any of the A4s, I do think they're pretty. They're just a sharp-looking locomotive. A warship just looks like what it says it is. It's a warship. It's impressive because it just looks big and powerful. But I don't think it's a good-looking locomotive. Like my Class 146s and 140, I don't have a Class 146 running. Well, I do, the metronome locomotive. Now, the livery can help. A livery can help. Yeah, I'm not going to get a good angle on that. Because I don't think a 146 class locomotive, whether it's the 146-1, the 146-2, the 146-5, I don't know that any of those are a cool looking locomotive. But you put the right livery on them and they look cool. I could do a bad running basket case. I've only got one locomotive that I would call a bad basket case locomotive, and it's this 101 which I fixed. The first locomotive I took apart and tried to fix and seemed to have succeeded. But all I did was clean it. I just took gears apart and cleaned them up and oiled them and put them back in and hoped I did it right. A1A, A1A. See, now you're starting to use code terms that mean nothing to me, other than I assume A1A, A1A is the axle arrangement, and that is A driven or not driven. Center axle not driven. So A would be a drive axle, and 1 is not driven. So A1A, A1A. Okay. Yeah, the Black 5 is a steam locomotive in the UK. Yes, I do know that. But I didn't know what made it a Black 5, okay? Let me make that clear. I didn't know what made a specific locomotive a Black 5. You know, it's like when somebody says Pacific class. All right, I know a Pacific class is a specific wheel set. But when people start talking about terriers and panniers, and I just go, and you know, part of learning is feeling the need to learn. So I don't always feel the need to look at a type of locomotive and go, okay, what type is that? Now, like with American locomotives, I don't know either. My friend Randall Ellison very happily educates me. But do I remember half of what Randall's told me? No. Can I pull back up all our text messages where he shows me a picture and says this is what makes it and study it? Absolutely. But do I feel the need to know what an SP40 or something like that is? No, so therefore I don't quite register it on the brain. I'm not modeling, I'm not doing them. But if you want to know the difference between an ICE-1 and an ICE-2, I can do that. The Duke of Edinburgh, 2007. Yeah, the 70s and 80s are interesting. And of course, Class 66 is everywhere. Now, the people who don't like the Class 66 call them the giant sheds or something like that. Again, I don't know if a Class 66 is cool looking or not. It's the livery in that case. I've seen the Americlan and the Roco and Pico Class 66 models, and there's some of them that look really cool. Where I would be, if I wanted one more freight locomotive, I figure if I get another freight locomotive, it would be a Class 66 from Germany. Yeah, that's a good question. He was moving everything over. He had a lot of videos, I guess, that disappeared, and he reloaded a bunch, and then that was the last thing he did. Because, yeah, I hadn't really, now that you mention it, I'm thinking, yeah, that's right. He normally posts some a day, so somebody asked, I probably would have said, I don't know, ask Alan. But yeah, I hope he's okay. Maybe he went on vacation. Well, Jean Ricard, but isn't the big boy technically just, is the big boy a type of locomotive, or is it just that one? Or is it all Class 84XX? You know, was the Challenger a big boy? Because I always thought the big boy was a specific name of one locomotive, the 8414, the Union Pacific 8414. I think that's the right number, right? Is the big boy 8414? But is it a type, like there are several that are called big boy, or is 8414 the one called big boy? Like I've got an ICE3. ICE3 is a class, but mine over here is what's it called? It's Oldenburg or Oakenberg. It's got a specific name. Hey, Kyle Stevens, where are you? So big boy, hey, thanks, Damien. Okay, so big boy's the class. Okay, I always thought, whenever I heard big boy, I thought it was that one specific locomotive, the 8414 or whatever that running number is. Because every time I see somebody do a big boy locomotive model, it's always 8414. So was there an 8413 and an 8412 and an 8411? And see, that's interesting, Ewan, because the first Class 66s I ever saw were German ones, and then I saw David Jones, Cottesmore. He bought a Deutsche Bahn because at the time he was doing British. I think he even worked like with DB Schenker. But he had a bunch of DB Schenker models, and he had a DB Schenker Class 66. So it's in what we call in German Verkehrsrot, traffic red. That German red that you see on some of my locomotives, that's called Verkehrsrot, traffic red. If you didn't know that, probably you knew that before I did. But anyhow, Verkehrsrot. That was the first time I saw a UK, and I was like, oh, you got a German model. I says, well, it runs in the UK. Oh, okay. No, I appreciate you stopping by, Leighton. Feel free to come back anyhow. 4014, see, I'm going 8414, whatever the hell, 4014, there it is. So the 4014 is just famous because that's the one they fixed up and ran it. So anything that's a 4884. Gotcha. Starting to wonder where old wifey flew. Hey, you know, I am running a train here, a steamer, and I didn't turn on his special stuff. Dude, how could I have forgotten? I'm ashamed of myself. Let's get those all turned on. I just noticed as he walked by, he didn't have all his special lights on. So let's fix that immediately. I just find it hysterical. Now, I love sound functions on trains. In fact, I think it's all the digital stuff that when I bought my first real model train a couple of years ago, my original IC3, which is now in Canada, it was the digital stuff that really swayed me and made me go, oh, cool, look at the lights, look at the functions, look, all the cars light up, blah, blah, blah. All the sound effects, the running sounds, that blew me away. But there are cases where, as they expand how many functions you can run on a model, where, like my Rheingold, my steamer, everybody just did around there. The one steamer there in the background, I'll go to the 11 lane and catch them coming through here. About 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, there he is. This guy here, he has all kinds of sounds. Now, I don't run all the sounds while I'm down here because I'm worried the mic picks it up and makes it crazy. But, I mean, if you wanted to hear that guy running, he actually blows smoke too, but I may have broken that. But the sound effects that this steamer makes are very, very cool. But then there's a whole dinner conversation where you get the porter on the train asks, would you like champagne? And then it pops the cork. And you hear 2 champagne glasses clinking. I'll wait till he comes back around again and I'll let you hear those. It's just silly. There comes a point where it's too silly. The sound effects are too silly. So I don't know if you were hearing that or not, but yeah, the champagne cork pops and you hear the... Now, who would hear that outside a train? Let me see. Let's do the diesel sound for a bit. That's my little Nordwestbahn running. And that's what they sound like. I have ridden that particular one many times, and that's what it sounds like. So that's that diesel guy. Now, let me see. The metronome. Yeah, he's too far away. Yes, the ICE4 has a toilet flushing sound. And again, really? That's my attitude. Let's go back to the all views. That's my attitude. Really? All the sound functions. You had to add the toilet flush sound. The automated toilet flush. It's function 27. It's just, yeah, that's too silly. That is just too silly. What's the class? You know, I don't think I've ever played the sound function on my class 181. It's kind of quiet. Absolutely, Jean Ricard. That's why they do it. And you know, and it's humor. It's humor. You know, it's me talking about it, right? We're talking about it. We might go, oh, stupid. But we talk about it. And so, yeah, you can have that little function. You can have that little feature. It adds a totally different dynamic to it. Like I said, I've got a whole dinner conversation between a waiter and a couple on that steam locomotive. Is there a miniature toilet? I haven't looked inside. There you could hear the metronome. Let's do the ICE4. I'll turn off the, well, no, let the BR181 come by. Now, one of the things I do is I turn their volume down a bit, but some are definitely louder than others, even at their bass level. That's the 181, not an impressive sound. But the whole point of the ICE4, I shouldn't say the whole point, but one of the big points of the ICE4 is that they do run more quietly than even the ICE3s. So if you hear a high-pitched whine, that's the ICE4. You'll hear it coming closer, so you'll get the Doppler effect eventually. So there's the ICE4. I just love them. The ICE3 and the ICE4 and the Railjet, my three favorite trains. Yeah, they don't want you flushing the loo while it's in the platform. Although the newer trains don't have that restriction because they all have holding tanks and composting tanks, or whatever you want to call it. So Miracle, and so of course there's a miniature toilet. You mean there wouldn't be if there was a Roco and a Pico? Or a Brava? I would think Brava and ESU. Brava and ESU would turn around and say, that doesn't sound exactly like the flushing toilet. We can make the sound better with our chips. My two favorite things about the ICE4, and maybe I'll stop it here on the one camera. Which camera can I stop it on that you would see this the best? Probably not this one. If not, I'll stop it in front of the DB4. Yeah, you won't see it on. Well, I could try to do it. There we go. There we go. The two things I really love about the ICE4, besides its looks, the functions, if I can get to them real quick. First of all, you can change the lighting for day and night driving. I don't know if you'll see the lighting change there, but if you can look inside the lighting there. So it has two different lightings. And that's all lights going out. They've got that flicker effect. But you can change from the warm white to the cool blue and back. And then is this I gotta make sure it's not locked down. Oh, it's the other one. Whoops. Where is it? Here we go. That's my favorite bit with the IC4. I know I'm like a kid in a candy store on Christmas or kid in a toy store on Christmas, but that's my geek factor. That is my geek factor. That was my geek factor. It's not the first model train to have pantographs that can go up and down on their own, but it's the first one I owned that did it and was really cool. And yes, Miraklin makes trains, and I'm sure I know other companies make trains that they can actually run on powered lines, that the pantographs actually can power the engine, the motor. But that was the geek factor for me. I just love that. The pantographs going up and down with the sound effect. Miraklin makes steamers, and again, I know other companies do it too. I'm just saying the company I work. Miraklin makes steamers where with the decoder, the sound and the chuffing of the smoke is all synchronized. So it's as realistic as you could make it, where the wheels move, it responds to that sound and smoke chuff. So as it's moving along, the sound is 100% accurate to the spinning of the wheels and the puffing of the smoke. It's really, really kind of cool. But see, that is what won me over with the model trains, was the digital stuff. You know, I never got into model trains as a kid in the late 60s, early 70s. My dad bought me one model train. I played with it a few times. It went circles. I was bored and I moved on. I'd rather be outside playing football or baseball or something like that. Obviously, those of us of an age, we didn't have video games. I remember when those handheld Coleco games came out with a little dot to play soccer, football, basketball. Beep, 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 beep. And then slowly they got better and better. And then I remember seeing the TRS-80 computers and the first chess modules on those. Maybe get one of those railroad cranes. Are you talking the one on the car or the one that's on the side of the track? Hi there, I know you.
You do know me.
Now, I gotta let you know.
Yes.
Is it coming around? Yeah. Coming around behind me. Now watch. I did something just for Jean Ricard today. Are you noticing? All right, it'll come through here and you'll see it.
Yeah. We are Steuerwagen first.
Yep. Steuerwagen first. And it's been running
There you
for
go.
2 hours, Steuerwagen first. So you know what he did?
What?
He complained that the freight trains were going too fast. The man's never happy. He just looks for something to complain about. It's not about the Steuerwagen, it's just he wants to complain.
Oh, Jean. We know you, how you are.
Oh, notice second thing. On the screen.
Oh, you got it on the computer.
It's working again.
Yay.
It's not working on this one.
So hi, Sean.
It's not working on
Hi,
this one, but it
everybody.
is working on this one now. I've got to get that locomotive fixed.
Mrs. White.
I
Yeah,
miss
I've been one of those.
It's Mrs. Wife.
Yeah. Hi, Tom. I know, Pierre.
Oh, you got to get your camera,
Yes,
dear.
yes, and yes.
Let's
I
get
was
you
all
on
right
your
without my camera.
You were all right without your camera?
Yeah, you could have it on the trains. They're prettier. Hi, Chris.
Whoops.
You tell Kai kisses and love. Hi, Kyle.
Oh, Kyan's watching
Hi,
now?
Joseph. Yeah, Chris is in
Kyan!
here.
Opa says hello. I love you, Kyan. Opa! We still got kind of a Batman tilt here.
Oh, that's all right.
No, it's not all right. I'm OCD about that.
Okay. You be that way. So,
We were discussing whether I'm a social influencer or not.
how could Anthony be a social influencer? We don't like social influencers.
Those, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah, we'll just stop
online
it there.
influencer or whatever.
Well, I mean, let's face it. You do have a few people who knight everybody as they come in. That's your influence. And you've got to, I don't know, I don't think you quite started all the cameras, but
No. Barnabas Junction had 3 cameras,
Yeah.
and that gave me the idea.
yeah, right. I think I'll do it tomorrow. My new one.
Oh,
I got to write
Jean
it.
Regard. Now,
I
see,
gotta
that's
write it
something you
down.
could nag about. Nag her to start doing more videos. She lost a subscriber this weekend.
I did.
Yeah, you're down to 51.
I had 52.
You had 52.
Wow. Okay.
You were at 52 for like 3 months.
Okay. He has a huge smile. That's good. So, yeah, it just crazy. Things got crazy. So,
All right, Kyle,
right,
take
night,
care.
Kyle.
Have a good day at
It's
work,
Good to see ya.
if it's possible.
So, anyway, yeah, it's never a dull moment.
Wait, who's Owen? Somebody. Oh, Owen Concord came in. There we go. But yeah, that's something that I've still got to decide how I'm going to do it. But yeah, I am going to the. Oh, let's go to that camera. The this side right here, this side is going to get completely
I see.
re-looped. It's not going to be changed drastically, but I am going to realign it so that things fit more properly with those platforms, and then I'm going to redo the platforms and make them longer and do the curved ends around so there's more room for the trains to
it's-
park.
Everybody's learned to like Bear Clan. Yeah, that's all right. Anthony has nice trains, that's for sure.
I have nice trains. That sounds like code for something. He has nice trains.
So did we all watch the Matt Clarke yesterday? Kind of didn't look like it.
That's right. Guilt him into it.
Yes, you all need to watch the Matt Clarke, for heaven's sakes, play.
That was a fist bump.
Yeah.
God, you're old school.
Yep, and comment on it, please. He only had 4 comments last I checked, and that was a funny one, and he's got a lot of funny scenes coming up, too.
I forget what was in last scene.
Oh, well, no worries. I haven't done anything in a couple months. I'm not worried about my subs. I was a little surprised I had 52 and lost one. Last
I
I
thought you
checked,
knew
I
you had
had about 33. But I need to go.
You got to keep putting new content out,
I
kid.
know, I got to put content up. So, yeah, it's going to be another top 5. Because that's my thing.
That's your thing.
That's gonna
That's
be
your
my thing.
shtick, and you're
And
sticking
y'all
to
should
it.
give me comments to what to put on my top 5.
That's your shtick, and you're sticking to
Yep,
it.
I'm sticking to it. That's my shtick. Anyway,
You
I
could
don't
do a
think
video about
anybody's
all
going to
your
answer
voices.
you, Tom.
Well, what did Tom ask? I'm
He
sorry.
said, who's not subbed to Joyce in the chat? Are you expecting people to raise their hand? Me. Oh, you jerk. We even got our friends yesterday watching it. They were enjoying it.
It's Joyce's model train channel. Ha 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 ha.
Uh,
Joyce has a train channel that she never posts anything on. Okay, she posted 3 videos.
yeah, I posted 3 videos. I'm going to do my 4th. I'll do
All
it
4.
tomorrow. I should write it down, though.
You should write it down.
I need to write down all my things, yeah.
There it is, here.
Hey, Mark Clark, under bad influence from the writer in that episode.
Oh, that's right. That had the...
That's not going to be the only one, but it's okay. like I say, he wrote all the scenes. He's editing a little bit for consistency. At this point, I'm not quite sure. Is that my channel or yours?
That's your channel.
That's my channel.
If anybody actually wanted to go see
with
what insanity
all three things I put up on it.
Well, you also got the songs you sang on it.
Yeah, right. My singing is on there. Which
Matt Clarke was under good influence.
I like your character. I like your songs. Like, we don't do the songs while we're working on Matt Clarke. It's just a little too much.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I actually have kind of written one new song, but I can't find the music for it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a favorite song from the 80s of mine, and I can't find an instrumental version of it.
Yeah.
I can't even find a karaoke version of it.
Right. Clearly not as loved as you. Loved it.
I've always been a man of unique and exceptional taste.
Of course, you are. Anyway, we had fun with our friends. I see you only have 16 people in.
Cough and project, dear. Use your teacher voice.
I do. Yeah. I could use my teacher voice, but I need my students in front of me.
Wow, you still sound husky.
I am husky. It's because of the weather change. It is
True
upper
that.
80s. I took Tom a walk around the building today, my brother.
Oh, did you?
Although it seemed like his wheelchair started to die. I'm like, yikes. We don't know how we're going to...
Yeah, I still don't know what I'm going to do for Artie's stream today, but he wants me to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't tap in on his channel, so...
I have ideas.
Do you have ideas? But
I do.
I really want to do it on StreamYard so people can come up.
Right.
See, I don't tie StreamYard into this.
Did he give you a link for it?
Oh, your favorite one is where she came down and...
He sneaks down to run the trains.
Hey, welcome James Gibson!
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but then she insulted all of us. I don't see what the big deal is. That was the whole joke. She
And
wanted to set you
all
up.
you guys so seriously going, oh, Joyce, we were all the same way. It gets better when you invest yourself. Like,
Hey, Colin!
it is what it is. Hey, Colin. It is what it is.
One person got mad at her about that.
Yeah.
One person got mad. You know, guys, it was a joke. It was a joke.
100% in fun, yes.
The whole thing was a setup.
You
And
guys always keep telling me that I must be playing with them when he's not around, that kind of stuff. I was acting.
I was acting.
I had to that. I am obviously very congested.
Obviously. Obviously very congested.
Where is Artie?
He was visiting family or friends or something.
Something. So now offline I'll tell you my idea for it.
Okay. Well, I've got a StreamYard account, so I can go
You
up
do?
to like, yeah. It's free.
You have a StreamYard account?
Yeah. I just never used it. So
Well,
I don't know how I would.
Use the
I assume I'll
StreamYard.
just go in and then use YouTube, and then it'll suddenly say voila.
Yeah.
But I figured we'd.
Yeah, do a StreamYard. It's nice when Jean came in. I thought it was pretty cool. We were there with Randall, just yakking with Sean, and Artie was on because it was his stream. So we were like bam, bam, bam around the world. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, Denmark, United States, Australia.
Yeah.
It was Denmark, United States, Australia. It was. That's the good thing about the internet, man.
Yeah,
Look at this.
that
We
is
got people
very cool.
from many different countries
Yeah.
here, all tuned into some bald bearded bozo that
An Anzac
can't build a
bean,
layout and babbles. You're all
Huh?
sad.
Okay.
What?
Jinx. Who's all sad?
Who's sad?
You said sad. That's what I said what to.
Well, I said, and you've all tuned in to watch me.
Right.
All these people around the world, and they tuned in to watch me.
I know. It's pretty crazy.
It's only, 15 of them? We had 19 at one time.
Okay. Well, it's such a weird day.
It is. It's Saturday. I didn't know if we'd get a bigger audience.
Trains when he's not.
I just miss the days when I pulled in 35,
I just like
40.
riding them.
Whoa, what? You like what? Writing what?
The trains.
Trains. Right, trains. Is that code?
It is if you want it to be.
It is if we want to do.
Oh, man.
See, you have to know the old late night talk show when Craig Ferguson did the Late Late Show and had
Yeah.
Jeff Peterson. Is that code? Is that code? That's an inside joke.
Yep.
Or like John Lennon in Hard Day's Note. Oh, he's reading
Yep.
the Queen. That's an inside joke.
Just reading the Queen.
Oh, that was just a running joke. He's very
okay.
clean. Lord John
Yeah,
McCartney,
that was
filthy
a really
rich.
good. It's very
Oh, I don't
clean.
know. It looks kind of clean to me.
I like watching them.
But I'm clean, are ya? You know, just the opposite of a dirty old man. A clean old man.
It's a clean old man.
Sorting out locos and rolling stock. I am blessed in the sense that I have a climate-controlled basement, so I just have all my trains
That's
out
so cool.
on display shelves, and then I have most of my longest trains are in parking yards, so I don't have to, especially the ones that have those pin connections that you're not supposed to take them apart, like the Railjet, the IC3, the IC4. I have those guys in a parking area that's off screen. If you do not remember how my world is arranged, we will show you.
Why
Vanna?
do they remember what your train lane is, how your train world is arranged?
Voila. So this is my layout. Now what you don't see is way over there on that side, which is the exact opposite of where I'm really pointing.
It is.
But as you're looking at the screen, picture, if you will, last night's map. No. So if you look that way, the direction my finger is pointing, because actually the direction my finger is pointing is to that part of the layout, but never mind. But on that side, past where it says Big Station, there is a parking area with 5 lanes for all my high-speed trains, my ICE 1, 2, 3, 4, and my Railjet. So that's not on this map. And then I have 6 lanes that run. 3 run around the whole table, and 3 do little circles that you can see on that side. So we get what, if you can look down there, it says 11 lane view, that one camera, the 11 lane view, because you can see all 11 lanes. 6 run, 5 go into parking areas over by the big station. And so my longest trains and my digitally connected trains, the pin connections, they're all parked so that they can just go straight onto the layout. My smallest trains and my freight stuff, those sit on shelves that are also on the wall above that parking area over there. So they're technically they're on that wall, but as you're looking at the map, it's that way. In fact, I will show you what I'm talking about. So if I take my camera here, there you can see.
Nothing.
So you can see there's 2 shelves where I park my shorter trains and my freight trains. And then way over there, you can see my Schattenbahnhof, I guess you'd call it in German, but just a parking yard for my long trains. And then all my other trains, you can't quite see. But if I did another view, let's see if the long view does it. Yeah, if you look at the bottom of the screen over there, you can see where I park my longer trains. So my short trains are up on the wall, and all my long trains are parked where they can come straight out into the layout. Well, American suggests every 20 or 40 hours, depending on the train. Some say, so I basically do that. I will come down and oil the joints and the wheels about every 20 hours of running. A couple of trains say 10 hours. and I have little notes to do that, but I don't run them that often. So like basically once every, like the railjet gets serviced every month and a half because it runs the most. So I just take the locomotive and clean it, and I clean the wheels with that little wheel cleaner I'd have to show again.
Oh, that's cool. The Flying Scotsman?
See, Flying Scotsman I know.
Yep.
Famous one. Now the ICE-4 is only, believe it or not, it's only at about 8 hours of operation, so it's got another 12, because even though, you know, they're running for 2 hours every Friday, that's all they run.
He really doesn't run on much other than that.
I don't, right now during the work year, the only time I run my trains is on the live stream. So, you know, so if you think basically 2 hours or 3 hours a week, and they need it every 20 hours, it takes about 7 weeks for them to get up to about that 20 hours. So it only needs to be every couple months. So that's how often I service them. There's a couple of them that are coming up. They do, and I also need to do it's time to do a massive cleaning of the track again, not just vacuum and run my Lux cars, but really get down and scrub them. It is time to do that, especially the parking area, because I don't clean that parking area enough. That little area where, you know, you can see the little access panel here. This is my access panel where I can come and get up in the middle of there. So I need to go down under there and just scrub all that. And I don't know if I'll do it before I go to England, before I go to the UK, or right after I come back. I'd like to do it before.
And it's going to get dusty while we're gone.
Yeah, because it's going to get probably dusty while we're gone. But I try to run the vacuum car on the 3 outer lanes at least once a month, and I think it comes out more like once every 2 months. But I don't come down here during the work year, except when I'm doing the live feed. I don't come down and run trains as much because work.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, great dub.
That was my question.
Oh, okay.
See.
Yeah, because she
But I
went to
got
see
there
that
with
concert
just
movie.
enough time to get settled in and forgot to text, but made it no problem. She's got out of the theater. Not 100% sure if we'll do dinner first or when we get to
Okay.
it or whatever. So, anyway. So yeah, that was
Let's change this camera. I like this view.
that was a sudden decision.
Yeah, I caught that. She did it just as I was getting ready to go online.
Yep.
So you just follow the metronome around station view and then the village view. I don't do this
correcting you.
camera a lot because this side isn't as busy as the other side.
Have you ever owned a British Outlines? What I'm missing.
I have never owned.
You've got your Beatles still.
I've got a Beatles Eurostar, and that is the only UK I own. Oops. That's the only UK
And
I
you got
own.
it because it's a Beetle, not that it's a Eurostar.
And I got it because it was Beatles.
And we can't run out of
Hello,
layout.
Chris. I was trying to follow the metronome around.
Hi, Chris.
And then there's the metronome again going up, and then it would go to that up the view.
I don't think your metronome gets the long.
Ah, right here. I see what you're talking
very
about.
often.
Those are pieces of handy tack. Those tracks were not tacked down, and for some reason they would constantly shift. So I put a little piece of handy tack down to keep them in place. I don't know why it was just those two tracks there, but although technically, Jean Ricard, I knew exactly where you're going. That's technically 10 and 11. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then... Yeah, but, yeah, that's 10 and 11. And, yeah, so those blue dots are pieces of handy tack. Blue tack. Just because those trains kept shifting out when... You know, not blatantly, but they would move over 2 or 3 live streams. And what would happen is...
It's a problem.
What would happen is the most innermost track, 11, would suddenly be right next to... Would be right next to track 10. And I'm like, you're supposed to be further apart.
Yeah, don't want them crashing. You gotta get at this layout, babe.
I gotta get at this way.
Yeah, an awful lot of brown.
Retirement.
It's coming fast.
It's coming. Retirement. Then I'll work on it. But like I said, I've got to redo all this. And the thing is, I still don't like this bump that developed out of the blue where these tables suddenly are off level.
Well, that's because it's so awkward to try.
I might go back and do what Graham did and use the adjustable foots. You wanted them on wheels.
Yeah.
Which required very consistent, and it was very flat and level. And then all of a sudden, when we pulled it out that one time, it shifted. It's weird. So I might just rip all this track out, pull up all the foam, and try to readjust those
Sean
tables.
asked if your track is not fixed to the baseboard.
Most
of it is.
Most of it is. Most of it is fixed down.
He used his hammer.
Nothing wrong with using a hammer.
Nothing wrong with using a hammer.
It's the type of hammer you use.
And having a nail tag.
But the nice thing about C-Track, Jean-Ricard, I'm sure you know this, but the nice thing about C-Track is, unlike a lot of track where you got to tack it so often, C-Track locks into place. Oh, do I have any other straights here? I dropped the curve.
Yeah, and there are built-in holes for the nails, for the tacks.
But, you know, C-Track, I'm really going on this camera a lot.
It's the tiny one, right?
C-Track locks in. You know, it's not fish plates that slide. It locks in. And so they do give you pre-marked holes where to put a tack. But you can probably lay 8 or 9 of these long pieces down and only put a tack like every other piece at most. And it's locked in. So the biggest thing is the curves are tacked. All the curves are tacked except for those. Do I want to know what you're doing in the bathroom for 15 minutes, Pierre? Never mind, just do it in one of your videos.
He wanted you to.
I'm not going to repeat what I did the last 15
Your poor wife.
minutes.
Yeah, you can watch it later.
Watch any live stream. I say the same thing every hour.
But nails, not screws. Yes, they are tacked in. They're not screws.
Actually, I have some of the Miraklin super thin screws, too.
Okay, then.
I've got really long, thin screws, but it's a combination.
Those are nails.
No, they're not.
Those are screws.
So, I use the Miraklin screws.
So, wee screw.
Yeah, so. My Miraklin screws. My Miraklin mini screwdriver and tool set. So my Miraklin tool set.
Euro.
What is that?
Yeah.
And I have my, for no reason at all, I have my German Euro. No, actually, I don't think that's German. Because it's got the,
It's a European euro.
it's a Euro. Euro! It's an Euro. I got all kinds of German or European coins in there. Then I got boxes of my special Fowler glue.
He's
The
got all
super
the.
expert.
He's got all the
because
stuff.
I'm a super expert.
He'll use it. He'll use it. He uses it sometimes, and we'll use it again.
But then I also got my Oohoo glue, and I got, like any modeler,
Like everybody
builder,
else. Yep.
I got many, many different glues.
Are you French or parents born near the border? Ah, he's asking Jean. Okay.
He's Danish with French influence. Which means he's a Viking with the French snobbery.
Okay. Je crois.
Trop près, j'ai cru.
Ooh.
Woo, what? Yeah, today's theme was a little of everything. So yeah.
You're bragging and also doing influence. What are you influencing about? I'm not sure. He drinks Carlsberg. Carlsberg.
Carlsberg is a Danish beer, but they used to sponsor Liverpool for years and years.
Gotcha.
I like Carlsberg. Carlsberg's a pretty good beer.
You also like your Belgian beer.
I like my Stella Artois.
Stella Artois.
No, my favorite beers I've had in southern Germany and Prague. That Steuerposten or whatever it is, Staro. That Czech beer Staro. Their Pilsen is so good.
Mm. Oh, about the glue. I didn't think you were thinking Carlsberg was like glue.
Ah, good.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the chat straight.
Drunk Scousers. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink
Furstenberg.
much. Furstenberg. Yeah, I think I remember that name. See, the weird thing is when we're in Germany, we have different beers all the time. It's rare. I think Beck's beer, although I prefer Hakebeck's, Beck's beer is one we have a lot in Germany, often I should say. But whenever we go someplace in Germany, we try to find a local and say, what is a good local beer? You know, what is a good pub or restaurant that has a good local beer? So we rarely drink we rarely drink the same beer twice in Germany. But I know we were at a cafe in Munich. No, Garmisch. It was Garmisch when we went with Uli, and we had 3 different beers.
Right.
One was a Hefeweizen.
Right.
And that was really good. The first time I had a good Hefeweizen, because I'm not usually a fan of Hefeweizen, but that was a good one. They had a dark beer, which I thought was the best dark beer I ever had. And they were just all local.
Huh.
I've tried Guinness, and I'll tell you right now, I can't stand it. Sorry, my Irish friends. I cannot stand Guinness. I've had it, and I've tried it more than once. Like, well, maybe I was wrong the first time around. Do not like Guinness. But I've had stouts, the German dark beers, the Pilsen, the lagers, blah, 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 and all that. cool brewed, warm brewed, blah, blah, blah.
Is warm beer ever good?
No, but the way it's brewed.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. I don't have a favorite drink. Saturday,
Having an Alinger, Bayerisch Dunkel as we speak. I think I've had that one.
it tastes like muddy water.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, when I was a young lad, I hated when foreigners, you know, non-Americans, you know who you are, would bash American beers. American beer is piss. American beer is water. You know, American beer. And I had American beers I liked. But once I went to Germany and started having beers in Germany, I came 180.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, German beers and Czech beers are better.
Yeah, we don't do beer. We don't do chocolate.
Chocolate
Chocolate
is better in Europe.
Trains,
beer is better in Europe.
Train systems are better. Your
At least in
bus
Germany.
systems are better.
The mass transit
Germany.
systems tend to be better. French fries are better in Europe. French fries are better.
The one in your glass after the first 6 or 8. Oh, this is the best beer I've ever had. So.
Well, yeah, because it had to be pretty good to get to 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah, right. But he's saying he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I know what he's saying, but I'm just saying, if you're going to go that far,
the guest,
if it's a bad beer, I'm not finishing one.
After 10 o'clock, give the guest the one. Yeah.
Hey, welcome Belmont Junction.
Belmont Junction's here. He told you had a beautiful layout. He has beautiful stuff on this
Speaking
layout.
of somebody drunk and having
He
too much
has a
beer.
layout who has to.
I have a train table. It's not officially a
He
layout.
has a layout that needs to be completed.
I have a Frankenstein layout that someday will actually be a real layout. It's Pinocchio. It's a wooden one that someday wants to be a real one. It's the ugly duckling that hopes to grow into a beautiful swan.
But he buys a lot of buildings, and I don't think
They
you
all
have
will,
any
because
that need
most
to be
of
built.
those buildings will work over here once I build all of Dummenhorst. Half those buildings will be part of Dummenhorst.
I see.
The other half become Bremen.
We
And then I
have
probably get rid of the old little Bavarian set.
never-
Maybe I'll build something for Cayenne and give them a little Bavarian train world. Because those are all, you know, well, it's not even Bavarian.
Why?
The Frankish, the Swabish, what do they call those? The Häuser. The crossbeam. I forgot the German word. Brain
The
fart.
cross timber building?
The like those right there, which you
Yeah.
don't see in Dummenhorst.
Half timber.
Yeah. The timber framed houses. They're
Right.
something Häuser in German, and my brain just completely farted. I only teach it every year.
Right.
Hey, Simon, how are
Real
you?
fish. We've never had Belgian fries.
Well, no, he just said the way they are in Belgium. I have had French fries in France, Austria, Germany, the Czech Republic, and
It's because he eats a lot of hamburgers.
Netherlands. No, it's because they give you fries with everything. Bratwurst and fries.
That's true.
Wiener Schnitzel and fries. So whether it's Austria or
Well,
whatever,
thank you, Belmont. Yeah.
I've never...
It's all Germany.
The best French fries I've had in America, and there are places in America where I say have great French fries, don't taste as good as the worst French fries I've ever had in Europe.
Gosh, you're 9 to 5, really.
Beer from around the world. That's true. That's right. You worked in the beer business. I forgot about that.
Okay. So he is the expert.
I don't know, XMG. I have seen it in Europe as, at least in Germany, as Budweiser. Still Budweiser. Because, yeah, you have the American Budweiser, which isn't the same.
Sean says you are Hans Christian
Andersen
Andersen.
fan. You win on that one, John Ricard. That's the first time I will give you a thumbs up. Hey, there he is! Warwick Road Andy, how have you been? We have not seen you in a long time. Been worried about you. I hope you're okay.
Well, and railfish. Hopefully those antibiotics start kicking in by the third one. Oh, that's not your third seg.
Getting there. You're gonna have to pretend you're an adult.
Yeah.
Trust me, if your
Yeah.
wife is there and if she understands American English, no, don't pretend to be an adult. You are an adult.
Yeah.
Pretend to be a child.
It's way too late to, it's way too
Do
late.
the adult
Way
thing
too
and
late.
pretend to be an adult at work when you have to be an adult.
Right.
When you're off the clock, that's what I always tell people. I'm off the clock.
Yep.
I'm off the clock. I don't have to adult anymore.
Yep.
I'm off the clock. People know have an English degree. Was an English teacher. Yeah, I've taught German the last 20 years, but I still see myself as an English teacher.
It's true, it does.
And people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Anthony. I know that wasn't proper grammar." I'm like, I'm off the clock. I'm not grading. Talk how you want to talk. I don't use proper English when I'm adulting or not adulting. Yes, that. I've got a friend over from the UK, Brian Finn from Finnerton Central. He admired that 3 years ago, and I told him all the parts are there, and I can make it work, that I was going to fix it and make it work. I still haven't done it 3 years later. All I got to do is fix a couple of the wirings in there and get a new motor. Well, actually, power source for it, which isn't hard to do. All right, XMG, thanks for stopping by. It was awesome having you here.
Bye, XMD.
New job and getting into 5-inch gauge. Ah, yes. Speaking of adulting, Pierre, turn the volume down. I'm about to make a very unadult joke, or a very adult joke.
All right.
Ah, yes. Model trains. The only place where you can actually brag and feel good about 5 inches. Model trains, the only place where you can brag about having a 5-incher and claiming it's bigger than everybody else's.
Oh. It's very clean, you know.
Of course, we all know a black 10 is much bigger than a black 5.
Of course. Twice as big. You might say. He laughs. Just in case you didn't know I was.
I've gotten into
kidding.
5-inch gauge. And they all go around bragging. You do HO, I've got 5 inches. Me, my claim to fame was 10 cameras, 6 lanes, and absolutely no layout. Five inches of steel.
Eh.
Good night, folks.
Oh, shoot.
Well, personally, I prefer 1-to-1 scale.
Oh. Those are the ones you get in.
But it's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she said. That's such a overused joke.
Yes, but you understand why.
Yeah,
We all
I
use it
know.
all the time. I think we
Yeah.
started saying that when I was about 12 or 13. That's what she said.
Oh, they're doing it in 4th grade.
Yeah.
Boy, did they get darn looked
Well,
down.
when I was in 4th grade, we weren't quite so knowledgeable as they are
Kathy
today.
sent her flowers.
So what? Yeah, they give a great view of nothing, but hey, it works. No, I like my trains, and I just like to let them run around. And really, the whole point of all the cameras was for me while I'm watching the layout. There are places I can't see, but the camera lets me see them from a different angle. So if I get bored watching them run right in front of me, I can look on the camera and go, oh, cool.
Oh, for own sakes.
And then we can enlarge each of the cameras. What we'll do is we'll do up the ramp, and we will once again follow the... So we call this the up the ramp camera. Now into the station view camera. So my Dumb and Horse station, 100% realistic to the real town. And then this is the distance, the village view as we call it. And then this is right in front of me. This camera view is right in front of me. I could stick my hand in here and go, hi! And then this is the 11 lane view because you can see 11 lanes.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
And then there's Joyce.
5 inches expensive. It's 85.
And then
Oof.
I haven't given this one a name yet. And then there's the long view, which is... And then this is the Dumb and Horse side of my layout because my layout is based on the city of Dumb and Horse.
Good night, Lee.
Good night, Lee. Take care.
No, even the O is crazy expensive. Or the G.
The G,
The garden
the G
one
gets really
we see, it
expensive.
was like, wow.
You can
and
do
a-
O gauge cheaply, but G gets expensive.
Oh, you need to buy a 3-foot Godzilla.
And then this is called the Bremen Hanover side. And as you can see, there's really nothing on it. It's just a bunch of stuff I threw on it so that
Since
there
it's
was...
Steuerwagen first, huh?
I don't need a 3-foot Godzilla when I have a giant kangaroo from Australia.
2-foot kanga.
History shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man. Kangazilla!
Kangazilla. Oh, a new one's been born.
Yes, the metronome is doing really well tonight. Yes, genre card.
Yeah.
The metronome always runs well.
Pierre, he's got quite a few props down here.
No, you have to see his video on his props. He's
Oh,
got a-
yeah.
But I do
seen
have my
his
own
videos.
little wardrobe.
Yeah.
Here, at the risk of sounding egotistical, but I'll let Wifey Poo verify or not.
What?
Wifey Poo is my best comedy is off the cuff, just responding to something. That was where I struggled. It wanted to be a stand-up comedian, is sitting down and writing a joke. You know, I can tell a funny story.
Like you do for Matt Clarke.
Like I do
right?
for Matt Clarke now,
Yeah.
but I'm telling a story. You know, when I was younger and thinking about being a comedian, sitting down and, you know, all the comedians I knew, I didn't know many of the great storytellers. They just had 10,000 jokes. So sitting down and trying to write a joke was very hard at that time. But if you say something stupid or you do something, I immediately have a response for it. Off the cuff, I can come up with, like, you know, like Joyce is known and my family knew before I met Joyce, is I can just out of the blue start writing a parody song, change the lyrics to a popular song and make it silly and make it funny. But you give me a prop, like my hat, and becoming characters is second nature.
It's true.
It's all that multiple personality disorder. You know, I put on the hat, then all of a sudden, I'm Heinrich. Tragic news!
Oh no!
Ludwig is dead!
Oh no! What happened to Ludwig?
A dirigible, a zeppelin, a blimp fell on him,
Oh no.
and then he was hit by a tank.
That's true. You do need a lot of energy.
Yeah,
As
but
teachers, we understand that.
Yeah,
It takes a
but
lot of energy to
it
get
for me,
going.
it comes naturally. I mean, that was a thing in my teaching career.
Yes.
It came natural. I did not have to put the work in that a lot of great teachers put in. For me, it came natural. The knowledge came natural, and throwing it in front of my students and putting on a show for my students was natural. That's
He's a natural teacher, you know.
And so, for years, my German students would put on shows, both in English and German.
Yep.
And we did one serious show, which was brilliant. The first show I ever did with
It
my
was
German
good.
students was really cool and very serious, very deep, based on the German writer Wolfgang Borchardt. But after that, it became comedy. Even when we would start with doing something serious, it became a comedy. Because I'm a comedian, my kids were comedians, and my kids were always involved, and my students just were naturally funny. And so we just had all kinds of props and things we did, and they became comedies.
The T-shirt is just advertising that I visited Chicago.
Yeah, she's saying she's been somewhere else.
Yeah.
The advertising is this. This is the advertising. The advertising is this. Go to my Teespring stores and get your Rusty Twanger, the Cowpoke Crooner concert shirt with the concert dates on the back. The 1891 Wild Nights in the Wild West tour, or whatever it was called. I forget what my daughter gave the name to it. What does it say, babe? I can't read it. It's on my back.
Weird Nights in the Wild West.
Weird Nights in the Wild West. Yeah, Rusty Twanger. Weird Nights in the Wild West tour, 1891. Oh, hey, you're reading your text.
Also a teacher.
We're both teachers.
Yep. Yeah, so it's one of those things. Yeah, he does.
I have a Teespring stores.
Yes, he does. If you need a pen or tape,
What
or
I need is a logo
scissors,
t-shirt, but I want my
we got
logo
it.
more
Stapler,
official.
the teacher household.
Which one is my shop? I don't know. Somebody would have to tell me if this link works. Sometimes people say that link doesn't work. Yep, I was a teacher for 36 years. I'm retiring, so I'm still a teacher for another 4.5 weeks.
You met during a riot?
No, double-blind date.
Yep.
We were both on a date we weren't supposed to be on. I was subbing for somebody, and then two people were supposed to be on this date. One decided not to go, so I got asked to fill in. And then that person decided not to go, so Joyce got asked to fill in. So neither one of us were supposed to be on the date. Neither one of us knew who the other person was going to be. I was invited on the date 5 days before, and then Joyce was told the day of.
Yeah. Hey, Joyce, you're not going to the dance. You can go with Tony.
So we had actually been in the same place on the planet Earth once.
But Anthony was in his first year of college, and I was at my senior year of high school.
Last year of high school, first year of college.
We were babies way before.
Cool, thank you.
We were babies way before we were in the teacher world.
Now, almost all my T-shirts and everything are about the Matt Clarke series. So you'd have to know Matt Clarke. Even this character, Rusty Twanger. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, and the deer are all friendly at night.
So, yeah, even you should put your Lego on a t-shirt.
Just give me a fire and a couple of sheep, and I will do fine through the night.
Ooh. Writing as we speak.
Dun, 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 dun.
But I think your Lego as it is, you should put it on a t-shirt.
What?
I think your Lego as
Lego?
Lego.
My Lego?
Your logo as it is, you should put it on a t-shirt.
As is? I want at least the lettering changed so it's legible. I want the lettering changed so it's legible. Home, home of the deranged.
It's almost 6.
It is almost 6 o'clock. It is almost 6.
18. 18 Uhr.
18 Uhr. Es ist fast 18 Uhr.
Ja.
10 vor 9. Es ist jetzt 9 vor. 9 vor 6.
Ja. Sounds
That's
creepy.
wonderful. It's almost time. It's almost 6. What time is it? It is almost 6.
How are they running, honey? The sizing. Are they pretty accurate?
I would say accurate. This is a 1X. I think it's a 1X. Is it a 1X here? Just check.
Yes, it's an extra large.
Yeah, this is a 1X, and it fits me the way a 1X would.
Should.
I can't wear 2Xs anymore. I've got lost so much weight. I'm down to 1Xs now, almost to the point where I could almost wear a large, except they shrink.
Yeah, t-shirts
I can wear a
are.
large this way. I can wear a large across the chest, but they shrink.
You need some tall.
I need a large tall.
Huh.
But yeah, we did the Rusty
That feels
Twanger
like
concentration.
bedtime, John.
That is, yeah, Joyce turns into a pumpkin at that time. Actually, I do.
That's to say you do.
I
don't
do.
necessarily.
I turn into a pumpkin at 11 o'clock, and she keeps trying to make pumpkin pie.
Oh, wow. Earlier than that. Who are you kidding?
No, 10 o'clock I just start falling into the garden. At 11 o'clock I'm officially a pumpkin. But I get up at 4:45 a.m. So she doesn't get up till 6:30. I get up at 4:45. So she doesn't. She stays up
Yeah,
till
I get
11.
those
Like
extra
I gotta work.
2
I gotta work. I
hours.
gotta grade. And then she comes to bed at 11 o'clock.
That's
and I
what
went to bed.
we're doing tomorrow. We're grading papers. I got
Who's we?
I got papers to grade too.
I might be making videos. No, I really should grade papers.
You got papers to grade.
I got papers to grade.
But I gotta do my video, but it won't take
I
very
want to
long.
just burn them and throw them away.
Because I do short videos.
Because now they don't matter anymore. What's the point? We've canceled your program.
Yeah, but you gotta have some grades, and the kids
I gotta.
care.
I'll give them their homework grades.
I'll grade this test and make the rest of it homework grades.
Yeah, just get these done. I don't know if I'll give another chapter test because there's no point. All the reasons of giving a test have been thrown out the window. I know that might sound bad to you, that looking at a teacher go,
Well, yeah, but Artie's not gonna be there. 2 o'clock. Speaking of Artie. Good morning, Artie.
"Good morning, Artie." "Good morning, Artie. Welcome to the next day of your life."
It's like 8 o'clock, isn't it? In the morning.
Artie, if you want me to do the live stream on your channel, you would have to set up the StreamYard and then send me the link to go in and run it from your channel. Otherwise, I'll just do it from mine. But you could do that. You could, like set it as a premiere and then send me the link. But speaking of which, what's dinner tonight?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, I think that's fine, Artie. You should sleep in every now and then.
But I was
way too early for Anthony.
Well, a funny thing is to go watch on my YouTube channel, go watch the commercial I did. It's a year ago, but I did a commercial for Rusty Twanger's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
I don't know, could I pull that video up? Well, I can.
Right. Can you get it to run?
I can.
So I think I'm running out of live feed.
You're running out of live feed?
Yeah.
Just chill out. I'll be off in a couple of minutes. Ah! I was attacked by a kangaroo.
Not a kangaroo.
That kangaroo likes me.
Not
He
a
doesn't like
kangaroo.
Artie.
It's not a kangaroo. It's a
Kangazilla?
Zilla. It's a kangazilla.
He's only Kangazilla to the train, not to me.
Okay. Sounds good.
Where am I at? What am I trying to do here? I have no idea what I'm trying to do.
Where are you
here.
going to wear this? Oh, any day you feel like it's just a bunch of horse poops. Here?
Ah, it's all a bunch of horse poop. Oh, I don't have it on here. I thought I had it in here.
Wow, that doesn't sound good.
No, I mean it's...
No.
I thought it was on the... Oh, what doesn't sound good?
Artie says it's been hell since Friday night here. I said that's not good.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be good. Well, now I'm just going to have to go the old-fashioned way. I wish there was a search your own videos way. I mean, rather than... I mean, where you could type in the search. Because trying to go back a year...
Yeah. Yeah, you've been busy. A lot of content.
Look at all that content. What a waste of... There's Cousin Keith.
Kenneth, not Keith.
Cousin Kenneth. Kenneth Clarke Dodge.
Kenneth, yeah.
Kenneth Clarke Dodge. 9 months ago. Because I did it in the middle of the series. There it is, right there. The commercial you'll never see on television. I should change the name of it. Alright, let's do this. Nope, not that. Let's do this. Bingo. Because, yeah, we're going to have to keep going. There. That's a commercial for Rusty Twanger's Greatest Hits.
Anzac, meet Artie?
Yeah. For those who don't know, Rusty Twanger is a character in Matt Clarke.
Mm-hmm.
He made more lasting appearances in Series 1. He's only shown up briefly in Series 2. I just haven't brought him into Series 2. There were just so many characters, and Series 1 was very located in the town of Big Gulch and introducing you to the places and the events in Big Gulch. Yes, she can.
Yeah, I've been busy. I gotta do that last load of laundry. Alright. A lot of you guys, please hit the like button to get them up to 30. If you haven't already.
Well, it doesn't just say horse poop. It says it's
Daisy.
all a bunch of horse poop. And that is the catchphrase from Series 1. That
Right.
is Smokey,
One-
although he
one
brings
of
it
them.
back. He's bringing it back in Series 2. But that is the character Smokey. My daughter designed that shirt. All these shirts were designed by my daughter.
The one with the baby.
The Cayenne's mom. So all the shirts on Teesprings were designed by my daughter.
Yep. She did a nice job.
Except for my logo. I did that. But she's supposed to be designing me one.
Because you get tired of waiting for her.
Well, she had
You
the
heard that,
one,
Chris?
but then I kind of changed it up on her and said, "Oh, I kind of like this."
Right.
But I would like, I wouldn't mind combining them either. Yeah. So, but yeah, Rusty Twanger is a bad singer, but in my world of Big Gulch, bad is good. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Hey, he's very well loved. The
He's
crooner,
loved.
the crooner from the prairie.
He's the cowpoke crooner.
Mm-hmm.
He's the greatest singer. He's the Elvis Presley. He's the Beatles of his day.
Are you kidding, Sean? He can't keep up with me.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I know you.
I was out of
today.
shape then. She was running up the mountains and I was halfway up going.
Yeah, I know that was fun. Come on,
Well, let's
hit
define-
the like button.
let's
Somebody
define keeping
hasn't
up with
hit the
whom.
like button. Hit
Who
the
can
like
who can go
button.
longer on a treadmill, especially an elliptical at speed?
And that's
Could you-
normal lean all over the machine speed.
In other words, me. Who's faster between us two? Who can run faster?
You are.
Who can run a longer distance between you and me?
I don't know. Not sure you can run real
Who's
far.
stronger,
I know.
you or me?
You're stronger than I
Who's taller, you or me?
am. You are.
Stronger, faster, taller. Don't give me this. I
He's
can't
the
keep up with you crap.
Bionic man.
Who wins pretty much every tennis match we play against each other?
That's it, buddy.
Answer the question the jury would like to hear. Your Honor, I have a hostile witness. You don't know how hostile. Answer the question. Who wins almost every...
Yeah, somebody's giving you shit. Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Nobody's giving me shit. Was that your phone or mine?
It was yours.
Oh, look. Artie sent me a link to do a show.
Nice.
So it's already sent me a link.
Okay, cool.
So,
Anyway, you're back
you
out
didn't
in 2
answer the
hours.
question.
need
You didn't answer the question. Yeah, I've got to take a break.
Thank you, Artie. Alright, I'm going to fold my laundry. So, bye, everybody.
You haven't answered the question. Come back here. Answer the question.
Ow!
Who has won every single tennis match?
He is on thin ice. You guys recognize that.
Thin ice. You're the one who makes the claim. I just merely defend my fragile male ego. Fragile male ego, exactly. Oh, that's right. I've got it up on the screen because it's working again. Boop, boop. Finally got the... It's not working on the old computer, but it's working on this one now. After 2 months of not working since their big upgrade. Bing, bing. All right, everybody. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me, especially a day late. Again, if you can, if you would, go and watch the Matt Clarke stuff. Leave it a like, a thumbs up, a comment. We like to have that. Won't get fed. Who do you think's going to do dinner today? So anyhow. Did you hear that, honey? No, you didn't. But yeah, so so I did pop the latest Matt Clarke, and look, this is a much longer, much more involved plot. Maybe go back and watch some from the beginning. I've got a couple friends that said they're just waiting until the final one and they're going to watch through it. Last year's series came out to 2 hours and 40 minutes if you strung them together and cut out all the opening, opening shots, the repetitive start of the show, still came out to 2 hours and 40 minutes. This one's easily going to be 3.5 hours long by the time it's done. Every episode's been at least 10 minutes long. Well, I shouldn't say that. A couple have been shorter. But it's a much more involved plot. But it is wrapping up, and I have finished it. I knew where it was going to end, but exactly how I was going to get there hadn't been decided. I've gotten there. So I look forward to you guys going back, watching it. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And I will see everybody next week. So until I see you back at my usual time next Friday. And again, I'm going to just start dropping the videos. I don't think I'm going to do them as premieres. I don't see the point. I will just drop the video and not worry about premieres with them, I think. In some ways, I like the immediate reaction, but most of the chat is people saying, hi, everybody. And so I'll just drop the videos, and you guys can comment below. So I want to say to you all from Joyce, who's folding laundry, we will say goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.